So this song really only uses 3 chords. We need E minor, which goes for a bar. We need C, which goes for a bar. And then we need G, which goes for 2 bars. So if I was to count the timing here, we'd have this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Just remember that in chord charts, if we have 2 bars of the same chord, we don't actually need to have the second bar written, we can just have it blank. So E minor for a bar, C for a bar, and G for 2 bars, we just write the G once and leave that second bar blank. Really, it just means we haven't changed chord, so we're still on G. So E minor for a bar, C for a bar, and G for 2 bars. Now you can play the whole song just with 1 strum, as I played a second ago. If you do that, it's best to try and have your chords ring out for a long period of time, like this, for the whole bar ideally. But if you're still getting used to the chord changes, what you can do is strum a chord, and then during the 2, 3, 4, use that time to get the next chord ready. So it becomes 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, and I'm using that time to change chords. That's a really good method to help you learn the chord shapes, and then once you're good at them, you can focus more on trying to keep the notes ringing out as much as possible. If you're pretty good at the chord shapes though, you can add some strumming, and a really basic but effective strumming pattern is down, down, up, down. And that pattern basically just goes for a bar, so we have to apply that to each bar, so once on E minor, once on C, and twice on G, because G is 2 bars. So this pattern is down, down, up, then up, down. And some students may have played it before. If you haven't, then try and break it up into 2 halves, the first half being down, down, up. And if you analyze that first half, you should notice it's actually pretty straightforward. It's just 2 downs, immediately followed with an up. So down, down, up. That's half of the pattern. The second half of the pattern is up, down. So first half, second half, and the way I just played it then, how it's broken up into the 2 sections, that's the best way to learn this. It'll make it easier and clearer. If you need to, just focus on getting the first half of that pattern correct first, and then worry about the second half, which was the up, down. So focus on the first half. Once you think, yeah, you got the hang of that, don't even have to really think about it anymore, then try adding up, down. And you can do this by having a pause between those 2 halves, as I keep talking about. Pause, and the second half. So first half, pause, second half, and eventually you'll find that you don't really need to pause anymore, you can just play it straight through. So that becomes the pattern for the whole song. Now in the actual recording of the song, there are a few occasions where we kind of just stop and we wait. In the version that I'll play, I'm not going to include any of that. I'll just play the chord progression straight through from start to finish. The very end of the song is with an E minor, just a single down strum, just to finish off. I'll play through that chord progression with the strumming 4 times for you so that you can follow along and practice with me. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There is one more option when it comes to the strumming for this song, and that is a fill strum. Now a fill strum is simply a strum or several strums that fill a gap. That's all it is, nothing really fancy about it. What I do is at the end of the pattern, down, down, up, down, I add another up strum, and that happens as I'm changing chord. kind of just on open strings. Something like that is best added once you've already got the hang of the strumming pattern. Then you'll find that just adding another up isn't too hard. Also, most students will just find that it happens naturally without them even thinking about it. It's just completely subconscious. If that's the case, then fantastic. That's kind of what you want. But if you play it with or without, it's not a big deal. Focus on just getting the basic pattern first. Then, if you really want to fill that gap, you can try and add the up strum at the end. And that's the whole song from start to finish. Remember, at the very end, we just throw one more E minor with a single strum just to tie it off.